One of my favorite things is a new project car, and we've got one of them inside the Auto Obsessive garage today. Let's go check it out. Welcome back to the Auto Obsessive Garage. Chadwick with you again for another project series. So, we've got a new car in the garage. As you guys saw me back that machine in, can't wait to get my wrenches on it. The project vehicle this time around, guys, is a 1991 Dodge Stealth RT twin turbo. So I haven't had a lot of turbo in the garage lately, so I doubled down and we got two of those bad boys strapped to this car. To me, it's always been a bucket list car, and to find one in this condition and restore it back to stock glory has just always been a dream of mine. Maintenance can be scary. Luckily, I found one that has a lot of the major maintenance already done, but we're not afraid to get into these old cars, are we guys? So we'll do a little bit there. In general, these cars are awesome. Always wanted one. Love how they look. I mean, it's just absolutely mind-blowing to think what this thing must have looked like rolling out in 1991. So I think they still look great today. Now, as far as design, it's not like an NSX, guys. It's not that revolutionary. It's not that supercar looking, but I still think it has some really good elements to it. It is an eye-catching car. You know, one of these cleaned up drives by, people notice. Super pumped. You can't beat twin turbo V6s from this period with all-wheel drive. I think it's going to be a pretty quick little car, and I can't wait to wrench on it. So this one's in really good condition. Got a great deal on it. Clean title like all my cars. We're going to catch up on some maintenance items that have been left on the wayside. A lot of big stuff is going to be taken care of. But first, a little history lesson. Little background on the Dodge Stealth in general. It is a mechanical twin to the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. The RT twin turbo is the exact mechanical twin to the VR4 version of the 3000 GT. These are not DSM cars, just want to clear that up. These things are completely built in Japan and shipped over. Now, as far as any kind of differences between the two, obviously they look a little bit different. Now, don't get me wrong, love the 3000 GT, but I'm a big fan of how the Stealth looks. I think it's just cleaner, more concept car, more smooth. It kind of reminds me of a Trans Am WS6 body, the way it flows. It's just, I don't know, I'm kind of crazy, but I love it. When these things came out, they were technological masterpieces. These things had so many things going on. Now the active aero isn't on this one. That's something the Stealth did not get that the 3000 GT VR4 got. So no active aero. I do have active exhaust and adjustable suspension. So those things are there. Now, this thing has all-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, twin turbo, dual overhead cam, 3-liter V6. This is technology in the early 90s that was just really hitting the scene, and this was kind of a showcase car for Mitsubishi. They wanted to have a platform where they can show off all their awesome tech, and this is it. Now, but let me give you a tour of the car, kind of show you some of the issue spots, what's good, what's bad. The bad always outnumbers the good, and these wouldn't be projects if it wasn't that way. So, again, a bucket list car of mine. Cannot wait to get wrenching on it, and I can't wait to take you guys along with me. So let's go ahead and check the car out and give it a solid once over and kind of show you the condition it's in. Let's do it. Let's start with the exterior of the Stealth RT Twin Turbo. Now, paint. I don't want to repaint this one. I actually want to kind of restore the paint as it is. It's in pretty good condition. Now, it's got obviously some chips that have been kind of repaired with the wrong paint color here in the front, but what are you gonna do? We can sand that down, kind of get that smooth and do a touch-up paint ourselves. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid a professional repaint. The biggest issue, and this is a great spot to see it, is you can see on this headlight here, there's a ton of water etching marks here. So obviously it sat near a sprinkler, usually the culprit. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. Now I'm gonna try to clay bar and bring this paint back to life. So I might use something a little more aggressive. Now that's in the paint too. A little harder to see in the red, but it's there, trust me, if you get in the sunlight. But overall, just small nicks here and there. Nothing too serious. Car's in pretty good shape. Now, we're gonna be doing the cowl, windshield wipers. These trim pieces are always peeling, especially on Mitsubishis of this era. We're all very familiar with how that works. Up here too, it makes the car look absolutely horrible. So we'll go ahead and repair that. That's gonna be a sand it down kind of situation. Primer and paint, get that looking good again. The rear elevated wing, which is a cool design touch of the car. We're gonna have to probably paint that again. It has faded the most. There's no real other significant paint fade on the car. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We're just gonna get in there and bring this paint back, do kind of a resto on the paint, but it's in really good shape. I don't think it needs a repaint. Here we are on the roof. You can see that water etching. That's not fresh water marks. These are actually legit etched into the paint, so kind of a bummer there. Looks really shiny in here, but in real life it doesn't look that good. So stock wheels, condition of those are actually really good. There's some curving right here, so we might redo these, really sharpen them up a bit. I like how they look. I love the black Dodge plate in the middle. I always thought that was a cool touch. So we'll keep those, restore them. We are gonna need new tires. These Kumo Extas are completely shot, worn down to pretty much nothing, so no tread wear left. Yeah, same with the brakes, rotors and pads. Yeah, looking pretty rough, but we're just doing a kind of quick once over here. Based on exterior, we're looking really good on the car. Minor dings we'll pull ourselves. Now stepping into the 91 Dodge Stealth RT Twin Turbo. Immediately you are greeted by seats that have not withstood the test of time, both driver and passenger, as you can see there. So these are not really patchable. In this kind of condition, you really can't come in here and fix this. There's some good amount of foam missing. So I'm gonna have them professionally, basically redone at an upholstery shop. Gotta source that still. Now the floor mats are the original Stealth mats. They look to be in good shape. They have dealership plastic still on them, so hopefully we can bring those back. Back seat in really good shape here. No real tears or seam separations or anything like that. So that's pretty awesome. Boy, some of these fabrics are just gonna really need to be cleaned. Yeah, I had to take the car outside so you can see it in sunlight. Just look at all this kind of, I don't know what happened. It looks like someone's coffee exploded in here. Look at this. I mean, this is just gonna be super fun to clean out of that. You know, you can see the roof is also stained. I don't know what happened, guys. I can only fathom what exploded in here. But it's gonna be super fun cleaning. I mean, that floor mat is just, ugh. This interior will be brought back to life, I promise, guys. This aftermarket boost gauge, which changes colors like a Christmas tree. Oh man, period correct, yes. Fast and the Furious correct, absolutely. But that needs to come out. Unfortunately, it's screwed in, so we'll have a little hole. We'll have to plastic fill that, but yeah, let's get that boost gauge out of there. Everything else is pretty good. Dash is not cracked, which is huge. It does have the traditional VR4 and Stealth heater vents that crack. This is what happens. The actual dash is strong in these cars. It's just this plastic cracks and warps a little bit. So we're gonna find a way to glue that down. I don't think that's a huge issue, but we'll take care of that. All the gauges work. That's a plus. Come on down to the awesome AC unit, which has that cool digital display. Not here, folks. So the display does not work. So I'm gonna take that off. There's folks that restore them. We'll get that sent off and restored, absolutely. More aftermarket. It's a Chinese Bluetooth kind of knockoff head unit here. It is horrible. It doesn't work. I had to go ahead and disconnect it because it basically stayed on all the time. I'm actually gonna go ahead and source the stock unit. Shift knob, looks like the leather came off or they used another plastic bulb. We're gonna have to source one of those. Here's our tunable exhaust button. Tour and sport mode are there. So that kind of fell out. We'll have to get that fixed. It does work. The suspension I couldn't get to change, so I don't know if that's gonna be something we work on or not, but we'll see. Pop-up headlights. Yes, check plus on that one. Everything works great there. And like I said, everything in the interior actually works very well. So yes, seats, of course, deep cleaning, and then replacing all this crazy, where we have our issues in the center stack here. We'll get all that resolved too, guys. So should be able to fix this up pretty nicely. All right, let's take a peek under the hood and see what we have going on under there. So not gruesome, right? Usually this valve cover is completely peeled off. Just a section there. Good news is, as we survey this stock engine bay, now this pipe here is aftermarket. Those usually crack or fail on the stock unit, so it is replaced. That's a plus. And as we go around, everything looks really good, really stock under here. Awesome, right? That's always a great sign. You don't find too many of these that haven't been modified. Another plus, something you can't see, timing belt, water pump, all done last year with OEM Mitsubishi parts. Pretty cool stuff. So we're gonna not have that on our list to do, which is a huge thing on this car. Valve cover is seeping a little bit. You can see down in there, nothing dramatic. He did do the valve covers, previous owner, and I've seen that happen. I think we've all been there where we have a valve cover leak. within a year or so. So that's not a biggie. At least it's the front one. Rear one completely bone dry, been under there. We're gonna take this front one off and we'll give it a good paint job too. I'll put some crinkle paint on it, make it look real nice. I mean, everything looks really good on the engine. The car actually runs incredibly well. Gonna need a new battery too. Battery's kind of old and dies down pretty quick, so we'll replace that. Not a lot to do under the hood, guys. Kind of a bummer. This is peeling. I might try to source one of those if they're affordable. If not, we'll see what we can do to make it look a little cleaner. But overall, super happy to find a stock condition one of these. The only aftermarket thing, I don't know if we're gonna keep it, set it back to stock, but there is a Hallman manual boost controller back here, nice and toasty after I've just driven it a little bit. These cars, a lot of folks, you can turn the boost up a little bit on the stock setup, and that's what happened here. So I think he was using that to bypass the stock boost solenoid. So maybe the car will make a little more power. Won't that be sweet? But anyway, super pumped. Look how clean it is under here. Just needs some touch up, some TLC. Pretty awesome stuff. And of course, when we do our big thorough inspection, we'll find out if there's any leaks or anything. But as of right now, valve cover gasket, just basic items under here. All right, popping open the trunk here, I forgot I had a little box of goodies. Previous owner got the ECU taken care of. If you don't know about it, Mitsubishi ECUs, you know, whether it's DSMs or Galant VR4s, more familiar with the Galant VR4 format, but they used capacitors that leak over time and can ruin this whole board. It has already been replaced, already been upgraded with new capacitors and any other fixes that need to be done. So we're in a good spot with this car. These are the great things I look for. If an owner took care of this kind of stuff, it shows that they know about the car, you know, they know about that platform, and that they take care of the issues that can cause the car to have a catastrophic failure. So that is really awesome. I'm telling you, what really pushed me over the edge with this car is the fact that this was done and the timing belt water pump has already been remedied. That is just great stuff. And who in their right minds can resist pop-up headlights? And of course, I've already started gathering some of the parts I need to put the car back together. First up is going to be these tires. I'm not going for a super aggressive track build or anything crazy, guys. So I've got some Dunlop Derezas. These are pretty cool. The DZ102s, pretty good tire. 245, 45, 17 size, stock size. Should be a huge improvement over those completely worn down Kumos. Following the theme of stock performance, I've got centric brake rotors, front and back, and the centric pads. I purchased all of these from 3sx.com. It can be tricky with these VR4 variants or RT twin turbo variants. Sometimes parts stores have difficulty tracking down the right brakes, so I just went through that website for hassle-free correct brakes. These will be fantastic. They'll be a great upgrade over the ancient ones that might be the originals on there that are pretty worn. Yeah, there's more aggressive stuff out there, but I'm not looking for that. Here's the valve cover gasket. Just gonna go with a Felpro unit to replace that front valve cover gasket. That's the only one leaking. Sometimes new gaskets leak, guys, so let's get in there and replace it. And then in this box was something extremely hard to track down, and I haven't opened it yet, so this is pretty fun to look at bubble wrap. So in there is the double DIN CD player and tape deck combo that came with this Stealth RT twin turbo from the factory. So we'll get that old Chinese Bluetooth unit out of there, put this in, and we'll be golden. The interior will look great. So here we are, we've already amassed some pretty good parts. Cannot wait to get working on this project.